Harrison Ford exposed. Remember, he had that plane crash? Okay, so it says, hushed up safety board report reveals, that says official document, it says that the engine in the actor's plane was tampered with. Security at the airport was virtually non-existent, and only his amazing flying abilities saved his life. Harrison's crashed vintage plane, and he suffered critical injuries and was hospitalized for nearly a month. Do you guys remember that? They're saying it was a sabotage. A bombshell investigation by National Enquirer has uncovered a top-secret finding hidden by the National Transportation Safety Board that Harrison Ford's plane crash 10 months ago, which nearly killed him, was caused by an unscrewed engine part. What's more, in a world exclusive, the Enquirer can now produce sensational photographs of that very part, showing the malicious tampering that nearly killed the Star Wars hero. This was no accident, former U.S. Customs Service John such and such told the Enquirer. These photos will prove. Investigators learned the reason for the crash was the carburetor and its main metering jet was rotated 90 degrees. He said, who has conducted countless inspections. Oh my gosh, it wouldn't have taken a mastermind to incapacitate this engine. Just someone with a wrench and a few minutes and some knowledge of the plane's carburation system. That's terrible. Harrison, age 73, took off from the Santa Monica airport in his World War II airplane. He contacted air control moments later with engine failure. He was 1,100 feet airborne. He rotated the plane 180 degrees, coaxed the sputtering engine higher, and executed a turf-tearing landing at a nearby golf course. Oh my gosh. That's crazy. Let's see here. Oh, Harrison Ford continued. He was hospitalized with a broken ankle, severe head lacerations, and mental trauma. And to this day, the episode is blocked from his memory. Oh my gosh. There's no way Harrison Ford would have picked that up prior to takeoff. Oh, he could have seen it. The inspector believes that the person who sabotaged the plane took advantage of the airport's lax security to buy time alone with the plane. Unlike LAX, where armed security guards have eyes on everything. That's terrible. Authorities need to ask Harrison whether he was being stalked by anyone or had an enemy who wanted him dead. It was only due to his skill as a pilot that he averted being burned to a crisp and killed. But his life could still be at risk. Oh my God. J-Lo slaps Ray Liotta. I don't know what that is. Oh, that's from a new Sexy Shades of Blue. Jennifer Lopez and Ray Liotta. She triggered a bad case showing him who's wearing the pants on their TV show. I guess it's a new TV show. Shades of Blue, not 50 Shades of Blue, Shades of Blue. So they're going to be in a TV show. Miranda Lambert says to Blake and Gwen Stefani, she says, Miranda Lambert suffering endless heartache because while Blake is boasting his love, she's weeping. Oh, because Blake's now with Gwen Stefani. Oh, that's sad. Oh, what? Teen guilty of murder again. Girl who drew ex-lover to his death, convicted in retrial. Amber such and such, age 19, lured her ex-boyfriend to Summerfield, Florida house where he was tortured and murdered. And she claimed that the new flame planned the deadly, that her new boyfriend planned the deadly ambush. What in the world? Okay, let's see. The cold-hearted teen who lured her ex-boyfriend to a savage and grotesque death by a gang of thugs has been found guilty of murder for the second time. Amber such and such, now age 19, was convicted only after 2 hours of jury deliberation for her role in the gruesome 2011 murder of her former beau, Seth such and such, age 15, who was tortured, shot, and burned before being dismembered. Oh my gosh. She was granted a second trial because she wasn't read her Miranda rights correctly, but the verdict was the same. Wright, who was just 15 at the time of the slaying, steered Seth to a Summerfield, Florida home with text messages telling her ex-boyfriend that they could work things out. Although Seth texted back he was worried about being assaulted, Wright eventually won him over. But Seth was right to be suspicious, After entering the house, Seth was set upon by Wright and 4 other attackers, viciously beaten and then shot by her then current boyfriend, Michael such and such, age 23. The murderous clan, including Wright's brother, age 21, Justin's age 25, and Eli, age 23, then broke Seth's legs in a bathtub so he could be stuffed in a sleeping bag. That is terrible. Still alive. What? Still alive. He was shot again before his body was burned in a backyard fire pit. The brutal bunch then chopped up the victim, placing body parts into empty paint cans, which were thrown into the quarry. Wright's attorney tried to sway the jury, arguing that the freckled-faced teen did not know Bargo so-and-so was going to take things to that level he did. But prosecutors played a venomous recording made 2 days after the murder of Wright, ripping into Seth to her co-defendants. He hit me. He almost gave me an STD, she said in the video. He cheated on me and he turned my friends against me. The gunman is now the youngest person on Florida's death row for his involvement in the slaying. The others are serving life sentences for the killing. The mother of the dead teen has attended all the trials related to the murder. She's expected to be at the sentencing on February 23rd. It doesn't matter how many times we have to go back there and fight. We'll keep doing it, she vowed. Oh my gosh. That's a true crime from the National Enquirer. That's crazy. That is terrible. Where's my coffee? I need a stronger cup of coffee after that. Marie Osmond at Nutrisystem. Jeb Bush snorted cocaine on the night his dad became president. Exclusive claims in a new book. Bernie's hippie era love child. Oh, Bernie has a love child. Sanders never married the mother of his first child. Christy, remember Christy Alley? She says Christy Alley is slimmed down and she's on the prowl for fresh meat. The 65-year-old former Cheers star has dropped 50 pounds and announced she's got her sights on younger men because she feels she's at her sexual peak. And she's crazy about younger men. So that's what's going on with Christy Alley. Is this true? Michael Douglas cancer? The end. Michael Douglas has 3 months to live as his cancer has returned. That is sad. Catherine and Michael, with their 2 children, Dylan and Carrie. Cancer survivor. Cancer survivor Michael Douglas has suffered a shocking relapse, and doctors are secretly weighing whether emergency treatment can save his life. Oh. In a bombshell, world exclusive, a source has claimed to the National Enquirer that the 71-year-old superstar's strength has been sapped so much that he's lost more than 15 pounds in the last few months. 4 years after learning he was tumor-free from stage 4 throat cancer, his worst fear is that the killer disease may have returned. He could have just 3 months to live, a top informant told the National Enquirer. That's terrible. His wife, Kathy Zeta-Jones, worried sick because this time around he may not survive. He shocked onlookers during a recent night out with Catherine at a restaurant near their country home in Bedford, New York. Michael looked like a zombie, one eyewitness told the Enquirer. He hardly even ate his dinner, and when he was done, Catherine had to help him up from his chair. Oh, gosh. He was super cold, even though they were sitting next to the fireplace. Shockingly, the Oscar winner's appearance has changed dramatically over the past 6 months. Dr. such and such, a retired medical oncologist at the American Cancer Society, reviewed a photograph snapped on December 17th at a New York event. He's in a lot worse shape, he told the Enquirer. He needs to get evaluated right away. Oh. The 5'11" actor's weight has plunged from 175 to 140 in months. Michael is too weak to walk and needed a motorized wheelchair to get around. In a serious side effect, the treatments caused sores in his mouth that made eating and swallowing difficult. At one point, with his life hanging in the balance, doctors wanted to insert a feeding tube, but he said no. In the middle of January, a family member told the Enquirer, "There's word that Michael's cancer may have returned, but that it's in another part of his body now, not his throat." Another source said, "It's serious, very serious, and it's putting an enormous amount of stress on Catherine, and she's living on cigarettes." Oh, that is terrible. I like Michael Douglas. But again, I never know about the National Enquirer, how true their stuff is, but they can't print stuff if it's not true, right? And that they have this little thing. They want you to call this, know something we don't? Call us. Tips for the National Enquirer. Brittany's beauty secret. She's had scores of nips and tucks to look her best again. This is the February 8th edition of National Enquirer. World exclusive, the most explosive story about Bill Cosby you'll ever read. Bill Cosby drove Playboy lover to suicide. What? Page traveled with Cosby while he was on tour. Page who? Page? Playboy playmate Page Young from 1974. Bill supplied her with drugs, and she shot herself after he dumped her, and the tests were destroyed in a cover-up by a cover-up private eye. What? Bill Cosby faces justice for sex and drug attack, National Enquirer has learned. Oh, that is crazy. Private eye investigator Paul Hubel told Enquirer if Bill Cosby had any involvement in Page's fragile emotional state or by furnishing her drugs that she took before her death, the information might be admissible as a prior bad act in his upcoming trial in a recent case. That's crazy. And then Sarah Palin lies as her druggy son lands in trouble again. What? Sarah Palin is a liar. She tried to blame her son's recent arrest on President Barack Obama and post-traumatic stress disorder from the military. Oh, boy. Her son Track recently made headlines for battering his girlfriend and holding an assault rifle near his head at the Palin's family home in Wasilla, Alaska on January 18th. He was charged with 3 misdemeanors. Oh, that's terrible. In 2008, he was revealed that he was OxyContin addict and that he has post-traumatic stress disorder. Oh, Sylvester Stallone. Remember his son died? Stallone bouncing back from heartache over a tragic son. Remember his son committed suicide. Sylvester Stallone has overcome recent heartbreak to stage a Hollywood comeback even bigger than that of his movie alter ego Rocky Balboa. The 69-year-old star, a Golden Globe winner and Oscar nominee for Creed, has never recovered from the devastating death of his oldest child. Sly is tough on the outside, but crumbled on the inside, a source told the National Enquirer. His gorgeous wife, Jennifer Flavin, and their stunning daughters, Sophia, Sistine, and Scarlett, have joined him on the red carpet while promoting Creed. The actor who plays an aging Rocky in the film also had 2 sons with first wife Sasha before their 1985 divorce. He was shaken to the core when his son Sage died at age 36 in 2012 from heart disease. At the time, a crushed Stallone called the death horrible, but added it's something that is a reality in life. Compounding his grief 6 weeks after Sage passed, Stallone lost his half-sister Toni and Felidi to lung cancer. That's terrible. The actor has also endured heartache over his youngest son, Sergio, now age 35, who was diagnosed with autism at an early age. Added our source Sylvester Stallone has built a $4 million fortune, but family has always come first. If he finally wins an Oscar, no doubt Sage will be smiling in heaven. He was so proud of his father. Oh my goodness. I love Sylvester Stallone. That's sad. Now, Whitney and Bobby Christina double death cover-up. Killings were linked by drugs and presence of Nick Gordo, investigators say. Oh no, now they're trying to say there was this guy. Nick Gordon visited Bobby Christina's grave in New Jersey. I don't know who this Nick Gordon guy is. Let's see. A bombshell witness to the murder of Bobby Christina Brown is getting clean in rehab after striking a deal to testify against her hot-tempered boyfriend, Nick Gordon. Oh, gosh. The National Enquirer can exclusively reveal alleged drug pusher Max Lomas could claim he saw Nick slug the daughter of the late diva Whitney Houston and drag her by the hair during a fight at her suburban Atlanta townhouse. Hours later, they found Bobby Christina face down in the bathtub, and the medical examiner has been banned from releasing the investigation. But the National Enquirer has learned prosecutors believe Max's testimony will nail Nick if her death is ruled a homicide. Max has turned on Nick. He struck a deal in which he would tell the truth about everything, a source familiar with the case told us. Max wanted to go into rehab anyway, but being clean and sober also is vital if his testimony is going to stick. Authorities said that if Nick went down for fatally injuring Bobby Christina, Max could go down too because he was there. Max, one of her many lovers, was arrested after a family called the police in fear he was holding her against her will. Cops slapped Max with multiple charges after finding Xanax, a gun, and marijuana in his cheap apartment. That's crazy. There's so many people, I forget who they are. A boyfriend, an ex-boyfriend, a friend of an ex-boyfriend. That is crazy. Oh, and they have her house up for sale. Where she died. That's terrible. Well, thanks for watching.